Obviously, Atlantic City was a great experience for our group. That's a really good basketball team. I think what you saw was an older team kind of wear us down with that right around the 5:30, 6-minute mark. We just had nothing left, and foul trouble really hurt us. Lamar only playing 22 minutes when he's typically right now playing 36, 37 on average. Those 15 minutes hurt. So you got to play a freshman 36. You got to play Ra. He scored the ball, but defensively he had to play 35. Trent Buttrick was sick, had a fever. That ends up really putting us back a little bit because our depth took a hit. And I just saw some guys really dragging the last few minutes. But I don't want to take anything away from NC State. That's a really good basketball team. Play 10 guys. Again, they're a little bit older, a little bit tougher, a lot of transfers, redshirt type guys. That wore us down. But I think we're going to learn from that. I mean, I thought we punched and counter-punched and punched and counter-punched, took the lead in the second half, despite all the adversity that we were facing. Our schedule is very hard. I think our strength of schedule right now, correct me if I'm wrong, is 22, including the Big Ten games. So we just played Virginia Tech, 2 Big Ten games, and an ACC game with Colgate wedged in, who's supposed to be in the top 2 of the Patriot League. So no rest for the weary. And nobody feels sorry for us either. No, they don't. And we're exactly where we're supposed to be. We're growing, we're learning, and I love this team, man. I really do. I'm enjoying coaching them.
Were you more frustrated, disappointed with when you were stuck at 64? Obviously, they had kind of their run. Was the defensive effort disappointing, or was it just the fact that you just weren't making shots? What?
I think it was a combination of both, and I think we were dead. For the first time, I just didn't see it, that extra inch or two that they dig down deep like we have against Maryland and Indiana, DePaul, where we fought back. We didn't have that fight back. Lamar's in foul trouble back, the entire game before. And then, we started missing shots. We missed 15-footers, missed 15 layups. We missed free throws again. That stuff is really deflating. And you can only get so many stops. And they're so good in transition that we were in transition most of that last 8 minutes because the ball wasn't going in the basket for us. And we did. We did what we were supposed to. Got to the free throw line, got into the paint. But we got to start making those layups and start making those free throws because psychologically that really wears you down.
Did you give consideration to playing Lamar with 4? I
played him with 2 in the first half, and that backfired on me very quickly.
Right.
He was only in for 3 seconds. I gave every consideration. I felt like it was a 1 or 2 possession game. As long as it stayed 1 or 2, I thought if I could get to 8 and then let it ride, and we got right around 9. I think I put him back. So it was close. Our young guys did a good job. I thought Josh Reeves played really well for about 30 minutes of the 40 he played. He played so hard. I'm telling you, the last 5 minutes, I think he was just shot. Like he had noodle legs. Like he was shot. And that's the type of kid he is. But, we're going to learn from it. We're watching film right now. We're going to get better.
Do you think that the biggest challenge of this team is figuring out whether it's scoring or just how to play without Lamar on the floor?
No, because Lamar's smart. I think it was unfortunate some of the calls. He set a heck of a screen, one of the best screens we've ever set, and it's not a foul. The dribble handoff, it's not a foul. One of the 2 charges was, but one was not. So I just gave you 3 non-calls. So I think Lamar's pretty smart. We'll work around that. And I think if we had a healthy Trent could slide in there. I think he's earned the right. He could give us those 10 or 12 minutes where Miles Dredd doesn't have to play 36. So we were shorthanded for sure.
When it comes to conditioning, do you take any extra consideration going forward, maybe getting in? I imagine you guys obviously think about that all the time. But when you get in a situation where you're lacking depth, do you think they need more conditioning?
I don't think it would be conditioning. We need somebody to sub in because I'm asking them to play as hard as they possibly can on every possession. So regardless if it's, I got to trust Davis. He's done it before. I just thought the speed of the game. And Kyle McCluskey is now eligible to play. I just didn't feel like that was the game for him to get his feet wet. So we'll see if we can get him a couple minutes here in the next few. And TK, I thought about all of those scenarios, but I went with my instincts and my gut and the guys that have proven since we started from West Virginia and Temple on. So we gotta put those guys in. They gotta give us a couple minutes.
Just considering the effort that was spent on Saturday,
Yeah.
Does that concern you moving forward to have? Obviously you got a few days here, but
Yeah.
Is this the time in the season where you kind of have to gut check things a little bit?
No.
Okay.
I gave him off yesterday, so that was rest and recovery. Saz and Greg did a great job. And then we watched some film on where we can get better, what possessions we can win, and the ones we're losing right now we go through these dry spells for 4 or 5 minutes, and they're actually end up hurting us. They're costing us games, and we're playing well enough to win games. If you would have asked me if I would be 5-5 right now, I would say no way. We were playing so well in the beginning of the season, and now shots aren't falling, layups aren't falling, free throws aren't falling. I think the one thing we can always rely on is our defense, and that kind of left us in the last 6 or 7 minutes of the game. So a lot to learn from. We got to keep growing. But today, I think we got to get back to work, and we got to get a little tougher, a little bit more physical. I thought NC State out-toughed us the last couple of minutes, and usually our teams don't get out-toughed.
So you guys have a couple games coming up. What's the holiday time like with breaks and?
So we had our awesome holiday party last night, our ugly Christmas sweater occasion, and some jammies. People came in jammies. Mike actually looked like Elf from Will Ferrell and Elf. He got the real, almost close enough to the costume. I was very impressed with their holiday cheer and their joy. It was awesome, and I think that's what you need sometimes when you think, you're in a tough time, in a tough, dry season, as we say. And it's not, we got to find happiness and joy. We got to continue to learn, continue to grow. And that's what we did last night. We did this Christmas exchange. That was a lot of fun. We applaud the players for all their sacrifice. We applaud Rosemary and all the staff of their hard work and sacrifice. Go back to work today. We got Duquesne on Wednesday, and no rest for us. We go right to Alabama, and we play Alabama Friday. And then they'll get a few days off. They get 4 or 5 days off for the Christmas holiday, which, again, good time for it. And then it's back to work, and we got a very difficult UMBC. So the schedule is awesome. Some might think it's too hard. Some might think, what are you thinking? This is a little bit of a young team without 100% of Mike Watkins right now. But I think it's only going to prepare us for the onslaught of the Big Ten play with 18 games.
Going on the road, does that help as well? Being able to go, obviously going to Atlantic City, but Pittsburgh's close by, still a road game in Pittsburgh, but able to take the long trip down.
Penn Staters are everywhere. I thought the attendance from Penn Staters, I don't know if you could see it on TV or hear it, but Penn Staters packed that place. It was awesome. Penn Staters want good basketball, and that's exciting. I think they're going to come out Wednesday because we're playing in the Penguins Arena, right? And so I think they'll come out. So it'll be a neutral game, and then Alabama's going to be difficult. But I think going on the road, get a little bit closer, spend a little bit more time together, watch a little bit more film. I think it only helps us.
Can you maybe just elaborate on the dry spell offensively in terms of fixes, things that you feel like you can turn to or point to? Is there an automatic bucket on this team, I guess?
Against Colgate, we went to Mike. And he got us go-to move and made his free throws, got an offensive rebound. So I think he did some really good things for us. We have to go to the free throw line and shoot with confidence. Have really good thoughts, positive outcomes. And we have to go strong to the basket and make layups. We're getting in the paint. We're getting plenty of paint touches because we keep that stat. And we're just not producing. Think about this. We're doubling in the last 5 games, and only the last 5 games, we've doubled. And now we've played top 27 team, 28. Maryland, I think, is either 27 or 28 in KenPom. Everybody else is in the top 25, either AP or KenPom. So we've played a very hard schedule. With saying that, we've turned over these teams at an awesome rate. We're not turning them into points, though. We've out-rebounded, crushed, doubled doubled in rebounding. We're not getting any second chance points. Our offense is getting the ball from one side to another. It's not sticking as much as it may have in the past. It's moving. We're getting open shots. It's not going in. You know what I mean? So trust me, the staff and I, we met multiple times. What can we do? Where can we go with the ball? How can we, kind of those dry spells, kind of get a layup, get a free throw in here? We're doing all the right things. We just got to keep doing it.
And you said, I don't remember if it was the last time we saw you or a couple of times before, but about the pressure on the true freshmen, that you were putting more weight on them, I guess, kind of as the season had progressed. But you came into the season saying that you wanted them to feel stress-free.
Yeah.
And that you didn't want them to have that burden.
You're right.
What's the balance there, and have they reached the point where, they have to produce?
Until Mike's 100%, Roz really got to continue to play the way he's playing. I can't ask him for 25 every night, but we got to ask him to score the basketball. We need more consistency from our leaders. I think Josh and Lamar, we need more consistency. And then we need more consistency from our sophomores, John and Jamari. They played critical minutes last year. They have great experience from last year. I'd like to see more consistency. And if we can do that, that'll take pressure off of Miles Dredd. That'll take pressure off MJ, where they think they got to come in and score. Where really what we need them to do is really play good, solid Penn State basketball. And they're getting there. And we talked about that yesterday. Guys, you have no pressure on you. The real pressure or stress on anybody is either me or Lamar and Josh. And they've been there before, so they can handle it. So you keep playing the way you're playing. But I do see Razier's role stepping up into a different level for us.
And then just one last one. You said a couple of minutes ago that if I had told you you'd be 5-5, that you would have said no way. And obviously you've taken this demeanor of, okay. Are you trying to set a tone, I guess, for these guys to not press or not panic, not?
We have 21 games left, plus the Big Ten tournament. So many games left. But here's the good news. We're close. I mean, we see it, right? You see it for spurts, like, holy cow, this team could be really good, right? We see it. But we're also close to going the other way, too. So, I want to keep this team very confident. I want to keep teaching them. I want them to keep having an open mindset of learning and growing. As long as we do that, and they got to be selfless. They got to give of themselves. Whatever they thought might happen this season, and maybe it's not going the way they thought, then just complete and total buy-in. And I think, as you saw last night, not one person in my house did not have an ugly Christmas outfit on or a sweater. And some of them actually thought they were nice. And we got to talk about that. That's a side conversation.
Okay.
The issue I have with that. But they are trying to buy in. Whether they know what buy-in means or not, we're still pushing that envelope a little bit.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Good.